All right, Max. So could you say your full name and where you are at school and what you're studying?
My name is Max Kaufman-Laurie. I go to Concordia University. I'm a political science major with a minor in history and human rights.
Okay, great. And so you're part of the internship program for the Egyptian Human Rights Oral History.
Yes, ma'am.
And what brought you to this internship?
What brought me is I actually I received a mass email from the political science department informing me about the internship.
Mm-hmm.
They actually sent it out after the meetings were held, so I was a little worried that I would miss my opportunity to apply. But then I proceeded to email Carol, and she got back to me soon, gave me a phone call, and things went from there.
Yeah. And where are you from originally?
Originally from New Orleans,
Yeah.
Louisiana.
Uh-huh.
I moved to Washington, D.C. when I was 16.
Uh-huh.
Finished up my high school years there, and then I moved here to Montreal.
Great. And what have you found most interesting about the internship?
Most interesting about the internship, besides from the stories themselves, is probably I feel like I'm doing my little part in expressing their stories, and I feel like that's what is important about this internship and this entire process.
Yeah. Why is that important?
Why is that important? Because if these stories go unheard, then they don't carry any value. We learn these histories. We learn the struggles that people went through to get to where they want to go. They might not have gotten to where they want to be yet, but it's all part of a process.
Yeah. And looking at the interviews that you worked on, what has struck you about those people and their stories?
Well, the sheer motivation. These people seem like to be the most determined people there are. For instance, my one interview, Atif Saeed, was telling stories about how, under Hisham, when he worked directly under Hisham Mubarak, not in the law center itself, but I think in the Human Rights Center for Legal Aid.
Right.
The amount meant Hisham Mubarak put an immense amount of pressure on them and worked day and night. I think he said one time they worked 48 hours straight almost, just getting the information out. And
that was around the election time, right?
Yeah, they were trying to provide the journalists with the necessary information.
Right. About the illegitimacy of the elections.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's it.
This was under the Mubarak era.
And then Malik Adley's story, he goes into his fearlessness, his brother's fearlessness.
What happened with that?
They were just talking about their part in the protests themselves. How his brother was detained, tortured. General horrors.
Yeah.
But that they were yet still determined to proceed.
Yeah. And how does this, hearing all these stories, how does it fit in with your life path?
Well, I'm still at the start of my life path. I see these stories as inspiration, as something to aspire to. I see, I see, just of that.
And what do you want to do later on? Do you know? What are your plans?
I have no direct set path. That's still an open-ended response. I feel, I've centralized my focus within studies in the Middle East. Studied it centered it within human rights.
Yep.
So this internship has kind of, complemented that pretty perfectly. And I feel like, the more I learn about the field, the stories, I'll be able to determine where I'm going to go from there.
And has this internship made you think any differently about the Egyptian Revolution? And if so, how? What is it? What new things have you learned about it?
What new things have I learned about the Egyptian Revolution? Well, I mean, you don't really get as in depth, I guess, in the news, in the media, where I've gotten most of my information from. You know, not even really in documentaries that I've seen. Like these interviews really take you behind the scenes of the role that, you know, human rights organizations play. Brings you in direct contact with like the experiences of the revolution, and you hear about it happening, but like you don't get it from the source often, and this definitely brought it to my attention.
Yeah. Is there anything else you'd like to say?
It's been a great experience. I've enjoyed it very much.
Well, thank you for all your work.
Yeah.